Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is now 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and inches, Jackson. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We're back now in KC. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go.
Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. 4 down. 4 down.
Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Finding some room at midfield. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They go play fake. Mahomes sliding out of the pocket. Gets this one to Hill. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Here we go.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. Ooh, the juke. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Kansas City
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Escaping the pressure right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Yellow. Check 41. Wild Bill.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Hey.
And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, Sunday. Get that ball. Check. 40.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Flush to his right. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
No. H3-2-18. Chopper.
Mahomes now on the sneak. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes taking it in. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Emmanuel Ogbah showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back. Well, the pressure gets to him again. Emmanuel Ogbah able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Watch out for Hill on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, in Foxborough there in the 4th quarter. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Ravens' 49-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Williams. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They run it again with Williams. He's got the 1st down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and it was Patrick Mahomes leading the way.
He doesn't seem to get ruffled no matter where he plays, does he? Home, on the road. If you put him in a neutral site, which he hopes one day would be the Super Bowl, he plays at a high level. We know about the big right arm, but I think it's the poise that I'm really, really admiring out of this youngster and watching him play. How about the first 3 games of his career in the NFL as a starter in 2018? He set a record for touchdown passes with 13.
Yeah, you think back to that entrance, and he has just kept it up. Amazing what he's been able to do. So for the Chiefs, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Blow your mind.
Why you do that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't getting too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo.
Coach, it's a day for celebration in the East Bay. It is, for all intents and purposes, the final chapter of what has been a great era of football here in Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black, going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5. 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go!
54 Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Big dad.
Yes!
Hey, switch gears.
80 weapon. One.
Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
12.
54.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Great. You draw Corker. Yes! Hey, Haywood!
56, Mike. 56. Go. 56 to Mike, boys. 56.
Water.
On 2nd and 9, Foles going for the deep ball. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Mike, 56.
Hayden Cole. Hey, high 7.
Motion. Curl. 56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike. I got one. Watch twist.
What we got?
He's coming, double up.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
1st down, Jacksonville.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Hey, sound one. 61, matchbox lights.
Alert 3.
Purple 64. Hey, Delta.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
13. Hey, 2.
Foles. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line.
24-yard gain on the
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
What we got?
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. Here it comes.
Go.
56.
Hey, Caden.
56. Watch the out.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Foles. The Conley's got it over the middle. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Conley, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready? 180.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, wahoo!
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. To the right side and complete to Thomas.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, 50.
He's checking crack.
Like 7.
Check hot route.
Alert.
Switch.
Under 10. Under 10. 10. Omaha. Ready, move.
This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
36.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation.
Bryant down for the field goal. An 18-yard attempt.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
At the 25-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check nickel.
Pick.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
What do you want?
Hey, go. Come go. Watch out. Check Mike.
Now Foles. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, J.J. Nelson. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Stafford now to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Trent Murphy.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's Foles. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Hey, box truck, box truck.
Mike 5-4. Stop your whining. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Black. 1.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man, it's Allen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
1st down, Jacksonville.
Foles now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. Now back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Under.
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Whip. Watch the whip. Mike 54.
They'll set up a throw. Towards the end zone for Brown. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. John Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. The throw complete here to Williams. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford dancing to his left. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. This one to Foster Moreau, the rookie from LSU. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Stafford now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Lady! Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
From the 16, Stafford. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The kick by Bryant is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking left side, that's complete to Oliver. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Allen's got it over the middle. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
I got you. Watch you go.
2nd down and inches. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Slam. SOS.
They'll drop the throw. Towards the end zone for Brown. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
The final shot before the break. Stanford. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now it's Stanford. They got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 34. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Stafford. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. And now this pass brought in by Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 13-yard line. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the red zone now, Stafford. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And it's a second down.
10. Let's see what you got.
Throwing again is Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
To throw is Stanford. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Kill
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And a Jaguar first down.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 2nd and 9, Foles, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Go, go, go. Big. Smooth. 54. Mike 54.
Foles. Well, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight.
Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Go, go, go. Well.
54 Mike. Check. Watch.
Now Foles. And the catch made here by Marknfl423. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Fournette running out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 35 on 2nd down, Foles. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, orbit. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Gotta do better. Zebra. Come on. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike, 54. Mike, 54.
They'll set up to throw. Right back for Allen. This time he finds him complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They run for it. Here's Blue. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the 1st. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Ready. Check, 53's Mike. Here we go.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Catch made. It's Moreau. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stafford. Flushed out right. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Here's Stafford. And they're going to get him. He's sagged back around the 28. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Stafford. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you got...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it.
And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play, was not written down.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
132 fighter.
Here's Foles. He's going to let this one go deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Hey, easy. Let's go. 53, Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Let's go. Monday. 53, Mike, 53.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Hey, 22!
They snap it to Stanford. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing to Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Trent Murphy in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. To try again after the sack. Stafford, that catch good for 5. It's third down. Wilson gives Oakland a veteran option at tight end. Remember, they had Jared Cook last year. He's now in New Orleans. But Wilson, 5 years in Seattle, then 1 in Detroit before the native of Windsor, Canada, signed with Oakland back in March. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And taken right at the 35. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Jaguars on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is third and 10.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up fourth down. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So for the Jaguars, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.